The galaxy knew fear, and its name was the Hydrophage. This alien bioweapon, engineered by the Threxian sovereignty, was designed to corrupt water at the molecular level, rendering it a lethal, corrosive toxin. It seeped through planetary aquifers, poisoned oceans, and turned the lifeblood of countless civilizations into death itself. Entire species surrendered before the Threxians unleashed the weapon, their submission bought by the promise of clean water. When humanity heard of the Hydrophage, they were horrified. Reports of colonies wiped out without a single shot fired reached Earth. Tales of water turning to acid that dissolved ships, flesh, and hope alike. Yet, where others saw despair, humanity saw a challenge. Hydrophage compounds, Dr. Amina Carter said, standing before a packed room of military scientists and strategists. Her voice was calm, though the stakes were anything but. It breaks water bonds, destabilizes its molecular structure. Highly lethal, yes, but also highly unstable. General Alvarez frowned. We've seen what it does. Oceans boil with acidity. Rain becomes a deadly mist. It's already destroyed 3 colony worlds. How do we fight a weapon that turns the very basis of life against us? Carter smiled, her confidence unshaken. By remembering what makes us human, adaptation. The room filled with murmurs as she activated a hologram, showing molecular breakdowns of the Hydrophage compound. What the Threxians designed was not perfection. It was arrogance. The compound's instability is its weakness. Given the right conditions, we can neutralize its effects. Better yet, she paused for dramatic effect. We can use it. The murmurs turned to stunned silence. The first test came on Mars. The Threxians, eager to prove their dominance, had targeted the terraformed colonies there with a concentrated hydrophage strike. Rivers turned black. Air filters failed under the pressure of corrosive mist, and the Threxian fleet sat in orbit, awaiting humanity's surrender. But humanity didn't surrender. Instead, Martian engineers deployed Carter's solution, a synthesized enzyme tailored to destabilize the hydrophage even further. The poison degraded, breaking apart into harmless and in some cases beneficial compounds. Rivers returned to normal. The air cleared. Humanity didn't just survive the hydrophage. They thrived. The Threxians, furious at their failure, escalated their campaign. They targeted Earth directly, releasing a concentrated hydrophage payload into the Atlantic Ocean. The weapon spread rapidly, and once again, the galaxy expected humanity to crumble. Instead, humanity responded with something unthinkable. Videos began circulating across galactic networks. Humans standing on beaches, holding glasses of water filtered from the Atlantic, and drinking. They laughed, toasted, and made absurd comments about how the Threxians had accidentally created spicy water. The footage was genuine. Carter's enzyme program had not only neutralized the hydrophage, it had rendered it safe for consumption. Threxian generals watched in disbelief as humans turned their ultimate weapon into a meme. Try our new hydrophage cocktails, advertisements joked. Restaurants marketed drinks with names like Acid Splash and Threxian Tears. The psychological blow to the Threxian sovereignty was immense. The final confrontation came at Proxima Centauri. The Threxians, desperate to regain control, deployed their largest fleet yet, backed by massive hydrophage dispersal units. They broadcast their intentions to humanity and the wider galaxy, vowing to drown human space in their poison. Admiral Singh of the Earth Defense Fleet didn't bother with a formal response. Instead, she ordered her ships into position, their sleek designs glinting against the light of the distant star. Deploy the reservoirs, Singh ordered. Massive tanks, filled with water infused with Carter's enzyme, were released into space. The Threxians fired their dispersal units, and the hydrophage met its match. Instead of spreading chaos, the weapon disintegrated on contact, leaving harmless vapor trails in its wake. The human fleet advanced, their ships cutting through the disoriented Threxian armada with precision. For every Threxian warship destroyed, another surrendered, their captains unwilling to face a species that had turned their deadliest weapon into a joke. The battle ended with humanity victorious. The Threxian sovereignty, humiliated and broken, withdrew from the war entirely. In the aftermath, humanity shared their enzyme technology freely. Planets that had suffered under the Hydrophage terror were restored, their waters purified by the very species the galaxy had once underestimated. Dr. Amina Carter became a galactic hero, her name celebrated across countless worlds. But when asked about her success, she always deflected with humor. Humans, she said, have always found a way to adapt. And let's be honest, when someone poisons your water, the best revenge is turning it into a party. The Hydrophage became a relic of the past, a symbol of how arrogance and cruelty could be undone by ingenuity and resilience. And the galaxy never forgot the day humanity drank the poison and came out stronger. The aftermath of the Hydrophage War rippled through the galaxy in ways no one could have anticipated. While the Threxian sovereignty retreated to their core worlds to lick their wounds, the rest of the galactic community was left to reevaluate everything they thought they knew about humanity. Species that had once viewed humans as mere newcomers to interstellar society now saw them as something far more formidable, a species that could not only survive existential threats but transform them into opportunities. The phrase *turning poison into power* became synonymous with humanity, a testament to their unyielding adaptability. Humanity, however, was not content with merely surviving. They launched the Hydro Renewal Initiative *, a project to restore planets devastated by the Hydrophage. Human scientists, in collaboration with species across the galaxy, worked tirelessly to reverse the damage done by the weapon. Oceans were purified, ecosystems revived, and entire worlds were given a second chance. But the initiative was not without its challenges. On one of the first planets targeted for restoration, the Threxian outpost of Axildar, the team encountered resistance. The Threxians who remained were embittered, their pride still stinging from the war. They viewed humanity's presence as an insult, a reminder of their defeat. When Dr. Amina Carter arrived with her team, she was met with hostility. "You dare to come here?" hissed Governor Vralik, his spine crest flaring in anger. "You think we need your pity?" Carter remained calm, her tone measured. "This isn't about pity. It's about fixing what was broken. Whether you accept our help or not, we're here to heal this world." The Threxians scoffed, but they did not interfere. As Carter's team began their work, skepticism turned to curiosity. The Threxian scientists who had once engineered the Hydrophage found themselves drawn to the humans' methods, their precision and creativity. One day, a young Threxian researcher approached Carter. "I studied under the team that developed the Hydrophage," he admitted, his voice low. "I thought it was our greatest triumph. Now, I see it as our greatest shame. How do you forgive us?" Carter looked at him, her gaze steady. "We don't forget the harm it caused, but holding on to hatred won't undo it. We move forward by working together." The researcher nodded, and from that moment, cooperation between the two species began to blossom. Back on Earth, humanity faced another challenge, deciding what role they would play in the galaxy moving forward. The Hydrophage War had elevated them to a position of prominence, but with power came responsibility. At the United Earth Council, debates raged. "Do we become the galaxy's protectors?" one counselor asked. "Or do we focus on our own growth?" Admiral Singh, now a respected voice in interstellar matters, addressed the assembly. "We didn't fight the Threxians to dominate the galaxy," she said. "We fought to protect ourselves and our allies. But if we've learned anything, it's that we're stronger when we work together. Our future lies not in isolation, but in unity." Her words resonated, and humanity adopted a policy of cautious but proactive engagement. They formed the Interstellar Coalition for Renewal, inviting species from across the galaxy to collaborate on scientific, ecological, and diplomatic endeavors. The coalition quickly became a force for good, mediating disputes, advancing technology, and fostering understanding among species that had once been divided. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. Years later, Dr. Carter stood on the shores of a once-ruined planet, now teeming with life. The ocean sparkled under a twin sun, its waters crystal clear. Beside her stood Governor Vralik, no longer an adversary but a partner. "You humans," he said, his tone softer than she had ever heard it. "You took our weapon of destruction and turned it into something beautiful. I still don't understand how." Carter smiled. "It's what we do. When faced with destruction, we build. When given poison, we create medicine. It's not just about survival. It's about making the universe better than we found it." Vralik nodded, his spines lowering in a gesture of respect. "Perhaps we have much to learn from you after all." As they watched the waves lap against the shore, a group of human and Threxian children played nearby, their laughter a reminder of how far they had come. For the first time in centuries, the galaxy felt a little smaller and a lot brighter, and humanity, once feared for their defiance, became known for their hope. As the interstellar coalition for renewal grew, humanity found itself thrust into an unexpected role, that of mentors. The technologies they developed to neutralize the hydrophage inspired countless new applications in agriculture, medicine, and environmental restoration. Species from the farthest reaches of the galaxy sought their expertise, not out of desperation but curiosity and respect. Still, challenges arose. The Threxian sovereignty, though weakened, remained wary of humanity's growing influence. Some factions within their ranks whispered of vengeance, unwilling to let go of the humiliation they had suffered. Skirmishes flared on the edges of coalition space, and rogue Threxian warbands targeted human outposts and allied worlds. The coalition's response was swift but restrained. Instead of escalating violence, they deployed humanitarian missions alongside their defensive forces. When a Threxian warband raided an agricultural colony, leaving its fields scorched, the coalition arrived not only to rebuild, but to leave behind technology that increased the planet's yield tenfold. The message was clear: destruction would be met not with retaliation, but with restoration. This strategy began to turn the tide of hostility. Stories emerged of Threxian civilians aiding coalition efforts in secret, smuggling supplies and sharing intelligence. Within the sovereignty itself, debates ignited over the future of their species. Was it better to cling to old grudges, or to embrace the possibilities of cooperation? On a remote outpost near the Galactic rim, humanity faced its greatest test yet. A rogue faction of Threxian scientists had perfected a second-generation hydrophage, one designed to target the very enzymes humanity had created to neutralize the original weapon. They unleashed it on Erin 4, a water-rich world home to millions of coalition citizens. When reports of the new hydrophage reached Earth, panic threatened to spread. If the Threxians had truly overcome humanity's countermeasures, the coalition's entire strategy could collapse. Dr. Carter, now a senior advisor to the coalition, immediately convened a team of the galaxy's best minds. This time, she didn't work alone. Threxian researchers, Lothai biochemists, and Deltran engineers joined forces with human scientists in a race against time. "This isn't just about countering the weapon," Carter said during a briefing. "It's about proving that our unity is stronger than their division." The research was grueling, pushing the limits of their collective knowledge. As the new hydrophage spread across Erin 4, coalition forces evacuated as many inhabitants as they could while containment teams fought to slow its advance. The stakes had never been higher. After weeks of relentless effort, the team succeeded. They developed a solution not only to neutralize the second-generation hydrophage, but to render it inert at the point of dispersal. The breakthrough was deployed in a coordinated operation led by Admiral Singh, whose fleet delivered the counteragent through a network of orbital platforms. The operation was a success. Erin 4's waters were purified, and the rogue Threxian faction responsible for the attack was apprehended. For the first time, the sovereignty itself issued an official apology, acknowledging the rogue group's actions as a violation of interstellar law. In the years that followed, the Threxian sovereignty formally joined the coalition. It was a tense, uneasy partnership at first, but the shared experience of overcoming the second hydrophage laid the groundwork for reconciliation. Former enemies became collaborators, their combined efforts unlocking advancements that benefited the entire galaxy. Dr. Carter retired from active service, though her work continued to inspire. Statues of her were erected on dozens of worlds, depicting her not as a warrior, but as a builder of bridges. When asked about her legacy, she simply said, "We found strength not in what divided us, but in what brought us together. That's something no weapon can destroy." Humanity's journey from underdog to galactic leader became a cornerstone of history, a reminder that even in the face of overwhelming adversity, hope could thrive. The day humans drank the poison and turned it into a cure would forever be remembered as the moment the galaxy changed. Not because of war, but because of humanity's refusal to be anything less than extraordinary. The coalition flourished in the decades that followed, its ethos of resilience and cooperation shaping a new era in galactic history. Humanity, though initially reluctant to embrace the spotlight, became a cornerstone of this alliance. They shared not only their technological advancements, but also their philosophy that progress was forged in collaboration, and that adversity could be an opportunity to grow stronger together. Among the sovereignty, old divisions softened. The younger generation of Threxians, raised in the aftermath of defeat and humbled by humanity's response, began to see the coalition not as a threat, but as a promise of something greater. Former adversaries worked side by side, building schools, restoring ecosystems, and even exploring the far reaches of uncharted space together. Dr. Carter, now living quietly on a restored Martian colony, received visitors from across the galaxy seeking her wisdom. On her 100th birthday, she was honored with a universal broadcast attended by leaders from every coalition species. The message was simple yet profound. "You taught us to turn our greatest weaknesses into strengths," the Luthi ambassador said. "To see poison not as an end, but as a beginning. Your work reminds us that survival is not enough. True progress lies in the bonds we forge and the hope we cultivate." Despite her fame, Carter remained humble. To her, the hydrophage crisis had never been about glory. It had been about ensuring a future where no species would face such devastation alone. Even as the galaxy moved forward, humanity's knack for unpredictability continued to surprise. During a routine coalition summit, representatives from a newly contacted species, the crystalline Zerha, voiced concerns about the dangers of unchecked technological development. "You humans," one Zerha delegate said, their crystalline tones echoing through the chamber, "are known for your unorthodox solutions. What assurances can you give that your innovations won't lead to unintended chaos?" The human representative, a young diplomat named Rhea Patel, smiled. "We can't promise perfection," she admitted, "but we can promise this. If chaos comes, we'll face it head on. And if we make mistakes, we'll own them and fix them. That's the only guarantee humanity has ever needed." Her words resonated, reminding the coalition why humanity's influence persisted. They were a species unafraid to fail, because they knew failure was part of growth. Decades turned to centuries, and the memory of the Hydrophage War faded into history. Yet its lessons endured, shaping a galaxy united not by fear of destruction, but by the shared pursuit of a better future. On a distant world, a monument stood overlooking a vast, shimmering ocean. It bore the names of those who had worked to neutralize the hydrophage and restore what was lost. At its base, an inscription in dozens of languages read, "Asterisk, the waters once poisoned now flow pure, a testament to what we can achieve together. May we never forget the strength found in unity, nor the hope that binds us across the stars." Asterisk. Beneath the inscription was a simple human phrase that had become a universal motto. Asterisk, we drank the poison. We turned it into life. Asterisk. And so the galaxy moved forward, carrying humanity's spirit in its veins, a spirit that refused to break, no matter the odds.